me check that out. That is quite the trophy room, brother.
Thanks.
What do you
It's
got
kind
back
of
there?
just a few elk I've killed and mule deer, bears, moose, whitetail, lions, kind of stags, a little bit of everything, man. It's my wife and I built a little house last year, and that's what I do. I build homes for a living, and we were able
Okay.
to get some property bought at a reasonable price, and kind of one of those things that kind of fell into your lap, and one of those jumps you got to make that it scared the hell out of me at the time, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. But my business partner, my best friend, we were sitting there actually at lunch that day. My wife goes, "Hey, that there was a piece. We actually built the neighboring house here." And she's like, that piece of property that you were looking at or have talked about at home, it came up on the market. And my buddy looks at me and goes, we can build it. And I was just like, I don't know. Then when you start running big numbers like that, I don't like debt. I don't like any of that stuff. And it really scared me at first. And that was the summer of 2023 and put an offer in on it. Luckily, I'd been working out at the gym with the guy that owned the property. So him and his wife, they were awesome. He took I couldn't afford any more than his offer. I said, this is it. I'll give you a full price. And he took it. And that was it. I mean, it was that quick of a deal. Broke dirt. I did all the dirt work. I rented a dozer. I came from a ranch where I worked for 20 years, where I learned a lot of tasks that just everyday ranch work. So I could run a dozer. Anyways, I came in, built my road that fall, dozed my pad, put my culverts in, cut all my drainage, let it sit all that winter. And then the summer of 2024, we broke ground in say March. April, started digging, poured concrete in May and moved in. I hammered down on this sucker. My partner and I framed it in 2 weeks. Now starting, I think we set the first wall June 12th, and we moved in October 26th, fully done, trim and everything done. I moved my family in October 26th. I hammered down, but we only worked on 2 weeks where it was him and I. Then everything was nights and weekends by myself. So
That's the dream, though, dude.
I'll tell you what, it was besides getting married and having a daughter's biggest accomplishment I've ever had in my life. So
So it didn't take you guys like an incredibly long time to get it built. It doesn't sound like.
no, I mean, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't long at all. We did, like I said, my partner and I stood all the walls, got it framed in, sheeted, and then I just plucked away at it. I mean, I plumbed the whole house myself. I hired an electrician, I hired sheetrock, HVAC, and shingles. I sided it, I plumbed it, I did all the dirt work, I did all the finish work, I did everything else myself. So it was luckily we were building the house right next door. So when I literally would leave work at 3:30 in the afternoon, I'd walk to the next lot. I had all my tools set up and I would just start working, and my wife would bring me dinner. I'd leave here anywhere between 9 and midnight. I'd go to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning, hit the gym, get done with the gym, come straight to here, go get here, be here in the morning for maybe an hour, walk over to the other lot, from 7 to 3:30, walk back. I did that every single day until this son of a bitch was done. I had to guide. There was a stretch in there where I had to guide, and then I went up and killed a bull real quick with my bow, killed a buck real quick with my bow to fill the freezer, and came home. But yeah, man, 2024 was one of the hardest years of my life, but probably definitely the most gratifying year of my life. And now we sit here, and I'm plumb happy, and I couldn't have done it without my wife, man. I mean, I know you have an amazing wife, and she's my rock. So thank God, she works in banking and she works in-house loans. So she takes care of all construction loans. That is her job. So she knew the ins and outs, the numbers, how to do it, everything when it came to that. Like the cool thing about her is there was nothing in waiting. When there's cabinets were here, doors were here, windows were here. All I had to do was install it. And if you're a good husband, you just say, yes, ma'am, I'll build it. I don't give a shit if it's pink, if it's black, if it's white. I'll build it and make it very nice. You build it, you do the colors you want. So there was zero argument, and just put my head. I said, I want a 15 by 30 room on the back end of the shop. That's what I want. So I can hang my heads and have my place to work on my bows and chill and watch some football. And that's all I asked. And she was super cool with that, as long as she had a decent sized closet. So yeah, man, I just put my head down and work, said yes, ma'am, and got after it, and here we are.
I like your fucking style, Sam. How many gym sessions did you miss throughout that process? Because it sounds like you weren't only but getting about 3.5, 4 hours of sleep every night.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably didn't miss on it. I'm not necessarily trying to sound like a badass. I probably didn't miss any as far as like in my normal schedule. I was probably still 5 or 6 days a week. I mean, I can't sit here and tell you how many I missed because I probably did, and I keep to a pretty good routine because that keeps my mind right. It's not just about staying in shape. I can stay in pretty damn good shape working. I put on a little pile of steps a day, and I have a pretty good diet, so that wasn't an issue. I just need to go to the gym, keep my mind right. I crave the gym just to get in there and get a good sweat and then get in, get out, and get on with my day, so probably not any days, honestly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. That's what I that's what I thought, man. I'll never forget the first time I probably roughly about a year ago we got on the phone and you're telling me all the shit that you, like your routine and how you're training and everything else and I'm like, um yeah, bro, you might be more squared away than me. I think we're good here. Like I'll see you in a few months at the expo. We can shake hands, but you don't need no help over here, bro. It's all good. That was so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I'm at an age now and a
'Cause you're
spot
like
in my life.
you're 40, aren't you?
41, just turned
Yeah.
41 a week ago, yeah, a week and a half ago, so yeah.
That's wild, dude. You look like my age. You look
No,
great.
thanks, man. Yeah, I've never not drank, right? Like, I had my party stages and had fun and never got into drugs, never even smoked any dope, never done any of that kinda stuff. Nothing against it. I had plenty of boys that I partied with all the guys, and yeah, I drank my fair share when I was younger, and nothing against alcohol or any of that, but I don't know, I'll have an occasional beer if I go out to dinner with my wife, and I'm very, yeah, I'm pretty lame when it comes to that stuff. I don't know if that feeds into staying healthy and keeping young, but I always feel like shit when I get done drinking. So it's not I don't need it and nothing against it. I don't mind if a guy has a beer, I can sit right there and I don't have to drink. So I guide plenty of hunters that have a lot of celebratory beers and watch me skin their critters and I don't have to drink. So maybe that helps to play into staying young. I don't know.
There ain't no maybe about it, Sam. That's a huge piece of the puzzle, dude. That's why,
Yeah.
that's why you're healthy, but that's why you look the way that you look too. Obviously, the gym helps tremendously, but booze ages on folks bad.
Yeah.
It does, man, especially when you're drinking 2, 3 times a week. I know guys my age that don't look my age. They look about fucking what, your average 41-year-old looks like, which is not what you look like, but you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I get it. Totally. I think the biggest thing, my wife, she's a lot younger than me. We're 10 years age gap.
She's
Well,
32?
she's 31. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she's a little bit younger than me.
Yeah. And so like we'll go to a
You
place.
did great, bro. Good for you. It's my guy right now. I love it.
I got lucky, man. She's awesome. But we'll go to your point. We'll go into like Home Depot or something. I'll introduce her to somebody. And then we'll walk away and she's like, well, how do you know them? I was like, oh, I graduated with them. She's like, you graduated with that guy? I mean, they look
Yeah.
50 years old, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just live it clean as life as I can and got to keep it going. I got to stay young because I got a 31-year-old wife. I gotta stay young, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You don't really have much of a choice, brother.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
no. That's cool, man. I like that story you just kind of went into regarding, it scared the shit out of you trying to get this piece of property, and then when you ended up getting it, you basically did all the work yourself, you and your homeboy. I love stories like that, dude, because I have this saying, and I'm sure I found it somewhere. I can't remember who said it, but you get the life you create, and I think that that is the most true thing going. You could have just kept living a comfortable life and going throughout your routine and living wherever you were living, which I'm sure was fine.
yeah,
I'm sure you were happy there, but
yeah,
you had a dream and it cost you a little bit of money, probably a lot of money to get
yeah,
into it, but you sat down, you went over the finances, you realized you could make it happen, you made the best deal you could, and then the games began. And
yeah.
you were just grinding. I love that, dude. And you didn't lose sight of the things that keep you going too, which was the gym and keeping your wife happy and being a dad. I love that.
Hey, man. Well, thank you. That's a huge compliment because it's one of those things. It's like, and then when you're in it, you're in it. Like there was times when you want to throw up your hands and you're just like this. I mean, like when the old. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but blood, sweat, and tears went into this house. There was times when it was 9:30 at night. I had a headlamp in. I was trying to set a goddamn bathtub, and I'm by myself, and I couldn't get shit to line up, and I'm throwing tools, and yeah, and then there's the good days when the whole family's here and we're wrapping it in Tyvek. My wife's helping me. Like, I mean, it's our yeah, it's definitely the blood, sweat, and tears went into this. So at the end of the day, it's like I mean, we've been at a year and 3 months now and I still drive away from it. Or I go for a run in the morning before I go to the gym. I usually take my dog for a little run. I come back down the road and I look at this place. I'm like, I can't believe it's mine. I can't believe it's ours. Like, I can't believe we did this. It's still shocking. Yeah, man, it's awesome. I think that's a huge compliment. Thank you.
When did it set in? When you were nailing all those heads in the wall behind you, or when you saw the smile on your wife's face, or when did it kind of be like, fuck, dude, we did it?
Honestly, yeah, the first night when like we moved, nothing was really put away yet. You know, there was just kind of everything was kind of in shambles as far as like the living room and all that such. But when me and my girls, I have one daughter, so my wife and my daughter, like when we got in that night and we laid in bed and we had our bed set up, we didn't have her bed yet, and she was laying on the floor. We had a little, I don't know, camping mattress laying on the floor, and all of us just went to sleep in our house for the first night, and you could hear the heater kick on. I was like, this is cool. Like, yeah, that was the first night. The first night we laid our heads on the pillow, it was like, we did it. We did it. And then I would say Christmas last year, because then we'd been in it. We moved in October 26th. So by Christmas, I mean, everything was put away. Lainey's bed was made, and we celebrated Christmas the first night. And I remember waking up that morning, the Christmas tree glowing. I built a nice fireplace, and I was like, holy shit, this is ours. Like, yeah, this is real. And it has some acreage. It's 3 acres. It's small, and my whole goal was to try and get our horses, because when we left the ranch in 2019, we moved to town. And so my wife had moved to the ranch with me to the late 2015. She moved to the ranch with me. And so she lived 65 miles from town out in the middle of the hills. And that's where I lived. And so we had a baby girl, and there was no opportunity for her for work. So, but my horses were there. That was my life. I rode horses. I mean, every day we cowboyed. That's what I did. And so then we moved to town. I was still working at the ranch. I was driving back and forth every day. But my horses, I had to like shuttle them between. My mom has like 5 acres, and I had them at another place, another place. So to have our horses outside the window and having Christmas in our house, it was like, holy shit, this is a pretty surreal moment. And thankful every day, man. But it's hard work. Like, I signed up for it. I didn't ask for help from anybody else. I didn't expect help from anybody else, because I signed up for it. So when all my friends were going camping, all my friends were going on their big hunting trips, and I was proud of them. I did not expect any help, because I signed up for it. I knew it was going to suck. I just had to get through it, and I'm glad I did. And now it's like, all right, it's done, and now it's time to enjoy life. 2025, to fast forward, 2025 is probably the most kick-ass year of my life. I mean, we did everything. We bucket listed everything. So it was awesome. So yeah, man, it truly is. Hard work gets you to what you want, and you just keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, and you can achieve anything you want. And I think I can't go without saying my wife is the support, right? It's awesome to have a team member that has the exact same goals that I do. She was going to the gym. She was making sure we were selling our house. We didn't use a real estate agent. We were so hard headed. She was a real estate agent on our house. So she's mowing the yard to our other house. She's keeping it clean. She's keeping the upkeep on that. She's running the daughter around all the sports and doing all that. I'm working on this house. She's bringing me dinners. Like, it takes a team, man. And it takes, you're lucky, because I hear you talk about your wife, and you're a family man, and you're a dad, and you know what I'm talking about. Like, that's your
100%.
world. That is your world. Like, you can set hunting aside, you can set any hobby you've ever had in your life. There's nothing that compares to having a family, and then the weight that's on your shoulders to have to support those that depend on you. Not that you don't depend on your wife, but you're the man. Like, we're the alpha. They depend on us, right? And so it's just it all of it came together, and it's really cool when you can put it all together and then just sweat your ass off and be able to smile at the end of the day and be like, we did this.
Yeah, you mentioned the hobby thing, dude, and obviously we both love hunting. And this year I didn't give two fucks about hunting, and me wanting to be home really kind of brought out my skill set, dude. I hunted like 13 days this year, punched 3 tags. I was in and I was out, you
Yes,
know? Like,
absolutely.
I didn't need no extravagant experience. I was like, yeah, I'll kill that bull. Yeah, I'll kill that antelope. That's a great mule deer. Yep, I'll shoot him. I'm going home. Bye.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
You
Yep.
filled your cup, what you needed. You filled the
Mm-hmm.
freezer, which you needed, but you wanted to get home to that family of yours. Like,
Mm-hmm.
totally. And you had a little boy or a little girl? Remind me.
Little boy, he's 8 months in a day.
Okay. 8 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to get home to that. Isn't it crazy
Yeah.
how it changes you, like, with into the flip of a switch? Like, when you become a dad, like, everybody's like, "Are you ready? Ready?" You're never ready to
Yeah.
become a dad. That's bullshit if you think you're ready. And the people are like, "Oh, like, I talk to younger guys, are like, well, you got to save up money. You got to, like, you never be able to afford it. You always got to keep busting your ass. You're never going to be ready until that doctor pulls that baby out, puts it in your hands, and goes, 'Congratulations, dad.'" You're like, "Holy shit, this is for real." And then you gotta work. Now you gotta work, because our jobs is to raise that child now. Like,
Yeah,
that's our
and
job.
everybody's like, "Oh man, your life just, it changes so much," and in all reality, I don't really agree with that. Like I'm still doing the same shit. I'm just being way more selective with like the timing of it. And it's like it hasn't gotten more challenging at all. It's just gotten fucking way better, dude. Way better. Like it's
100%.
so much more fun. We take him literally everywhere that we go. Everywhere that we go, he's with us. We don't have any help out here in Montana. We're not from here, and our families live fucking 24 hours away via car. So it's just kind of my wife and I, and we just love it, man. It is we were sitting on the couch the other day, Sam, and playing with the kid, and I looked at her. I was like, man, what did we ever do before we had a kid?
Yeah,
And
right.
Morgan's like, fucked off. And I was like, yeah, that's true. We didn't do fucking nothing. Like just whatever we wanted. But now it's 10x better, man. It's so much more fun to just see him like just out in public, and he loves looking at people. And if you smile at him, his day is made. It's just so cool, dude.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
When my boss at the time when I was at the ranch, he's a father figure to me still to this day. We get along great. We didn't leave on bad terms at all. I was just time for me to move on when I left the ranch. And he told me when I told him that Peyton was pregnant, he goes, if I can give you, I had a really good lab in college. I had a really good Labrador retriever at the ranch. He went there with me. Now I got a golden retriever laying right here on this buffalo hide with me. But I always had good dogs. But Brian looked at me and he goes, treat your kid just like you've treated your dogs. My dogs went absolutely everywhere with me. He goes, take that kid everywhere with you. And he goes, you aren't really going to have to work at raising them. Just take them everywhere with you and they will become a good person. Like, and Brian, that advice has stuck with me through. She's 8 years old now. We can go to the saddle shop. We can go to the co-op. We can go to the tire store. She's gonna know which places give her dum dum suckers. Like she knows all the places. She can look someone in the eye and tell them, "Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am." She will shake their hand. She will say hello. She's not scared to talk to people. And I still look back at my boss and I was like, "That's it." Like she has been. I've taken her just what you just said, man. You're doing it. Like take them everywhere with you. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. You want to take like a guys like I have had buddies that taking their kids hunting and it's like hard and it's like yeah it's hard. You know what you do? You take a lot of you take a lot of snacks
Yeah.
and you don't make it last long. Like if you're like shed hunting or this, dude, sometimes her attention span is 35 seconds and then she's on to the next thing. So you can't sit there and drag anything out. Make it fun and keep it entertaining. Have a shitload of snacks and roll with it. And pretty soon you're gonna notice this. You won't have a diaper bag anymore. Should we want to ride shotgun? You'll have him standing in your seat driving the damn pickup when you're on a 2-track road, and you're like, this is life, and this is what it is. It's just take them everywhere, be involved, and don't have a fucking screen in their face. That's my biggest advice if I was gonna be a
Yeah.
dad. We didn't grow up with that stuff, and look at us. I didn't
Hmm.
ride a bike with a helmet, and we lived life, and my knees got dirty. I ripped jeans out. Like you played in the dirt, and you ate dirt, and that's it. I grew up with a BB gun in my hand, and I'm trying to raise my daughter the same way because this is a wild world we're raising kids in, man.
100% it is. And I like the no screen thing, dude. We don't let him do no TV. We don't let him touch our phones. Like literally, if we're hanging out with him downstairs or upstairs, doesn't matter. We don't have no laptops open. We don't have our phones in our hands. We definitely don't have the TV on. And it's tough because we went home from the holidays, and my old man, like, we're always watching football and
Oh
shit.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, turn the fucking game off if you want to hang out with your kid. If you want to hang out with your grandson, hang out, turn the fucking shit off, dude. He's like,
I
what?
get
And
it.
I was like, no, dude, because it's so easy. Because he'll know what's going on, and he'll be looking over my shoulder trying to watch it, and he's glued to it if he sees it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I can see why it's so easy for parents just to be like, fuck, give me a break. I'm going to put this kid on the ground, let him watch whatever fucking Looney Tunes show's going on, and he'll sit there and just be a zombie for an hour if you let him.
Oh man.
No, no, we don't
It's
do that.
crazy. I can't sit here and say my kid doesn't watch cartoons. She will watch some cartoons, but
Yeah,
as
but your
far as
kid's
like
not eight. Your kid's not 8 months though.
no, you're right. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. My big thing is like, and I can't say that I've tried hard. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. Like as a guy, like I'm not a New Year's resolution. I'm not a resolution. I just live life, and I'm just gonna be a good fucking person and try to be the best dad I can. Right. First, be my best husband I can. Then I got to be a good dad. Then let's work. Right. So like I biggest thing I do is when I get home, like I told you, I don't expect a lot of texts and calls. I talk to my coworker. If we're not at the same job site, me and Zach, we'll usually talk at 4 o'clock when he's at one job site. I get home, I plug my phone in our bedroom and I don't touch it.
good for you.
That is the best way that I can like just turn it out. And it's I'm not sitting here being like I'm a superhero and saying I've never grabbed my phone in the middle of an evening, but That's one thing I work on and I try to do is to put that screen away because my daughter's got to read every night. She's got homework and I want to engage in that with her. And honestly, she likes watching some football now. She's a huge Seahawks fan like dad. So we'll watch that. We watch hunting. I'll pull a show up of some funny movie. Like if we'll sit there as a family, we'll watch a funny movie together. Like instead of, I would rather have that time than be glued to my damn phone.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want to look back. Cause what is a phone doesn't get me anywhere with her. And so I don't want to look back. And wintertime's the hardest.
And
Summertime's
your
not tough.
wife appreciates that too, dude.
Oh
Big
yeah.
time. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Do you
anyways,
do you
enough off
see
my
it being do you
soapbox on
see it
that,
being a
but
little bit of a battle with your wife though, just because she's younger and she's my age and my generation is fucking glued to these things? Is it a problem for her compared to you because you're a little bit older or not really?
no, she is. I would say, is it a problem? I would say, no, she's a reader though. So she'll read on her phone or she pulls out like she has a Kindle and
Mm,
she will read. So I always try to look back and say, what did my parents do when they were sitting around? My dad was a big reader. He would pull out his reading glasses. He would sit there and read in the evenings. When I was a little kid, I used to do a lot of drawing. In the winter times in Wyoming, just like you grew up, it's shitty in the winter. It gets dark at 5 o'clock, 4:45. So you have a lot of time in the house. My dad would read, my mom would work on like crossword puzzles and stuff. So I always try to like think of, okay, what was the dynamics back in the late 80s, early 90s, right? When I was a kid. That's what it was. So it's like, all right. I try to like, I don't know if that's okay, but it's like that's what parents did back then because there wasn't a tablet. So my wife, she reads her Kindle a lot. Like that is her thing, her shutdown time after dealing with people at the bank all day. So if she gets home, we get dinner done and stuff. She's gonna sit down, we do the homework stuff. We all listen to Lainey while she's reading. We go through all that. But then when it comes to like that last hour of chill time, Peyton will pull out her Kindle and start reading. I usually try to like watch whatever Lainey wants to watch. We kind of either watch hunting, and the hunting will be on, and we're always like prodding mom to watch the hunts. Right? We watch a lot of YouTube hunting, and then if football's on, mom's like another football. It's 6 months of football, but
yeah.
that's kind of how it rolls. So Peyton, she's good about it, but yes, she uses it more than me. But it's not to just sit there and scroll and look at dumb stuff all the time. And I say a lot of the time it's her tablet. It's the Kindle she's reading is what it would be. But I don't know. It's definitely not easy for either one of us. It's been a work in progress. I can't sit here and say I'm perfect. So I've definitely had my phone, but it's one of those things I can't make a conscious effort to plug this sucker in every night and walk away from it.
Yeah.
So
So I've been able to meet a lot of cool people since I moved out here. Just like a totally new, just kind of group that I roll with and interact with, and I interview a lot of folks and have had the opportunity to just connect with some really really great folk. Where I'm going with this is that talking to you, man, and I'm not here to pump your tires. I'm just being genuine. You're you're very. It seems like you're very optimistic. You're full of piss and vinegar. You're very very positive. Have you always been like that, dude, or were you like? Did this come down the road as you were growing up? Like you just seem very positive. I don't really take you for a guy that complains about really much. I don't see you get worked up. I don't see you being a guy that gets worked up and angry and loses his temper at all. Have you always been like this, dude, or is this like a new version of you, or where are we at?
no, man, this is me. I think if you went and asked anybody, me in a nutshell, as far as like the optimistic in a good mood, like there's no reason to. Hey, can a guy piss me off? Yeah, you want to talk on my family? The strike points, right? Say some shit about my family. I'm gonna get mad. You can get me fired up if you're an asshole. I like that's why I think I've kind of gravitated towards you. Your style about you call out bullshit when you see it, very black and white. And I think that's always been my dad was big on that, right? He was very, you don't have to be an asshole, but you can tell someone if they're being wrong. Cause I tell my friends too, because I've been on a handful of podcasts here and then I say, if you ever hear me say something or if something's not true, like let me know because I don't ever want to come across as that. Like keep me in check because I will damn sure keep anybody else in check. I think that's just a quality that I think everybody needs to have. I learned that probably from coaches back in the day. I played every sport growing up, absolutely every sport. You name it, I played it. Like from rodeos in the summers to wrestling to football, wrestling, soccer. I mean, literally did it all. I wasn't the best at everything. Maybe this is it. I was never the best at any of the sports. I was never the worst kid on the team. I always had playing time, but I wasn't the all-state badass. So I always had to work for everything that I did at every sport. There was no sport I was the best at, like I said, and I worked very hard and I just always knew like it was, I don't know. I had to play sports for my parents to cover the insurance on my vehicles. So I either that or get a job. So I loved playing sports. My parents never allowed me to be lazy. I watched my dad was gone after 5th grade. Like, people grew up way harder than me. My mom and dad split. Dad was gone after 5th grade, went and ran a ranch up in Montana, and he was gone. So I watched my mom struggle and bust her ass to everything she could being a secretary at a cable TV place, right? But she raised me and she did a great job. And my mom was a tough old woman. She could have a bush light in her hand and a cigarette in the other hand, and she'd fucking mow the lawn and she could do whatever. And to this day, she's 75, still takes care of a 6-acre place all by herself. My dad died 3 years ago now, and she bust her ass. And so, like, she always has a smile on her face. So it's like, I don't know. I came from some stuff that was every person has a rough history here or there, right? I didn't come from the perfect family, and my parents were split and all that. But yeah, man, I don't know. I've always been positive. There's no reason to get down, and there's always like it could be worse. You know what I think maybe pushed me through a lot of stuff too is in my early years, and when I've guided a ton of hunters since I've been a kid. My dad was a guide and outfitter. Since I've been 2.5 years old, I've been in backpacks on horses all over the mountains with my dad, guiding hunters and doing that. I went right into a full-time guide in Montana and Wyoming at the age of 18 when I could legally guide. I'd been guiding deer hunters, out of the ranch out of the pickup when I was young. I'd take loads of guys coming from Billings and stuff, and we were guiding them on management deer hunts on the meadows. We shoot big 2 points and 3 points. Then I was able to get a guide's license when I was 18. I guided in both Montana and Wyoming for should I still guide right now? So I'm 20 some years into guiding, man. That's all I've done. My whole life is hunt, 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 hunt. I've been around hunters. That being said, I've got to meet a lot of interesting individuals, from the richest of the rich to super poor blue collar guys that have saved all their pennies to come out on a once in a lifetime deer hunt for them. To I got into the ranch I used to work for, guided some of the top soldiers in the world. And when I got to be around some of those wounded guys that didn't have any legs, didn't have any arms, I was lining a gun up for them with a screen hooked to it, and they were blowing through a straw to pull a trigger and to kill an elk, or they were
What?
blind.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen that.
so we had set up where it was some sort of mechanism that ran down, hooked to their trigger, and they'd blow through a straw because they couldn't pull any triggers with their
Right.
fingers, and they would blow a straw. So we had like an iPhone essentially mounted to the scope so that I could see what they were aiming at. I could adjust the aim, and they would pull the trigger through blowing air. Same thing. I did that
Wow.
for a little kid too that had, like, I don't know if he had cerebral palsy. I don't remember, but a kid did that too that I guided, a little 12-year-old kid from North Carolina on a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing. So
Oh, that's cool, man.
I think when you get to see all of that, and then you roll your ankle, or you even dude, I broke my kneecaps. I've had some shitty injuries, but you don't bitch at all because you know that guy, he would take a broken kneecap every single day every year. He would take a broken kneecap to have his legs back. And that little boy with cerebral palsy, like, dude, he would give anything to be able to walk around on a broken knee and some crutches instead of being in a tracked wheelchair. So maybe that's molded me to be like, it could be way worse. So just suck it up and just live life and be thankful for everything you have. And if you work hard, and just keep your head down, like, I don't know, I'm not even a super religious guy, but I believe you just work hard and keep grinding, like, things like kind of play out in your favor if you're just a good person. Like, hold the door for everybody you walk by, say hello to everybody you walk by. My wife still, I'll wave at people when we're driving. She goes, "Who's that?" I said, "I have no idea." They were looking at me. I could tell we were eye to eye. We were driving. I passed them on the road. I wave. Um, I don't know. I don't have any tricks. I don't have any ideas. That's how I live life every day, is just call someone out when they're being an asshole. Like, I've been called, like, my buddies will joke and they're like, "You're the nicest asshole I've ever met." Like, because I'm nice, but like, if you're a dick, like, I try to, like, tell you out, but I expect the same. Like, call me out too if you think that I'm being fake or a bullshitter. In all of that, it's probably just kept me positive, man. I don't know. I get up every day, and as long as my feet hit the ground, I'm having a damn good day. Because there's a lot of people that wish they could crawl out of bed, but they can't.
Yeah,
So
and it I mean, I knew that was the case, man. I wasn't trying to frame it and like, "Is this really you?" Not at all. Every time I've talked to you, you've been like this, and I've heard nothing but great things about you. But I like how you went the route of, it's like, dude, just be a good person. I try to preach that so much. If you're in a position to try to make somebody's day, you need to do that, man. If you can, you must. I love that quote. Dakota Meyer told me that years ago when I interviewed him, and it just stuck with me ever since. And it doesn't have to be a financial thing. I preach that to the guys that I coach. Hold the door open.
yeah,
Tell somebody you like their hoodie. Tell
yeah,
somebody you like their shoes. Tell somebody badass truck. hey, great bowl you shot, man. Congrats. Anything, dude. Like, make somebody's day a compliment just goes so far in today's world. And then being genuine like you are, it's so obvious, dude. Like, this is who you are, and it's very refreshing. And I think that's the only reason that my stuff online does pretty well is because they're like, oh, this guy's this guy seems like exactly who he portrays himself to be. And it's like, well, fuck, who else am I supposed to be? Yeah, this is me.
Yeah, it's
Right?
actually,
So like when you
yeah.
see that, it sticks with you because I run into a lot of people that I've seen on the internet that aren't who they portray themselves to be on the internet, man. And it's sad, but for whatever reason people do that. I don't know if it's a facade or what it is, but when you see it, it sticks with you. And now this is I think the third conversation we've had, and I've really been looking forward to it because the other two were great. Just I love positive folks, man. I just love them.
Yeah. Well, I don't, thank you. Cause I don't think there's any other, you see people that get down or, yeah, it's just it's not worth it either. It's like we got one life to live, and then life's too short to be pissed off or grouchy or hold grudges or be whatever it is. Like, I mean, I've had some wild stuff happen. I can think back, and people would really want to hold grudges, and it's like, yeah, move on, and let's just make it to the next day because that isn't worth being pissed off about. I don't know. I think it's funny because you hear like when husbands and wives get in fights, you know, a guy can like get in a fight with his wife or an argument. And then like right, you're just like, all right, hey babe, how are you? You don't want to slap him on the ass. You right back. Women, they don't like bounce differently. Some need a little time. They gotta like
Hmm.
like play the game. And I think I kind of live life like just kind of like the man woman relationship thing. It's like, all right, get over it. Like the old school bar fight. Get in a bar fight, you slug it out, you help son of a bitch up and buy him a beer and go your separate ways, or shake his hand and go their separate ways. Like that's, you still don't like the son of a bitch, but you can get on with your day, right? Like I got one in on him, right?
Yeah.
I think that's like at the end of the day, kind of just how I go about everything. Is today we were framing like we're framing right now, and we're working on this house, and it starts snowing, and I work with my cousin, so it's my cousin and then my best friend, and it's me and my cousin today. We're getting after it, and it just starts snowing like a son of a bitch. It's like, well, we're here, all of our tools are out, and it's snowing. Everybody else is probably looking at us like we're idiots because we're literally getting just nuked on. And it's like, it could be worse. But like you're soaking wet. We already have all of our tools out. Let's get this other wall laid out, and then when we get to a point, we can shut her down. But I guess that's it. And I mean, maybe that's like, I know this is a hunt, it's not a hunting podcast, but if I was going to relate it back to all my hunting and stuff too, it's like, that's exactly how I look at hunting. Like I could blow a stock on a bull and it's like, all right, that one made me better. Let's go kill the next bull. Like if I blow a stock on a buck or the wind shifts on me or I run into other hunters, it's like, all right, now I just have to go find another place. Or people always talk about, oh, I didn't draw my tag. I didn't draw my tag. And that they get down on themselves. I'm like, dude, every over the counter general tag you have now, like that makes you better. That like, I would rather, it's like, all right, I didn't draw the ideal tag I want. So now I'm hunting over the counter. Like it's going to make me better for next year. So I think it's just got to have that outlook on everything. Like, I don't know. And
Yeah.
I'm really trying to teach my daughter that, like, she just don't let it get you down. The next play, on to the next play. Like,
Yeah.
let's
I
keep it
like
rolling.
that. I like that. I like how you brought up the argument thing with your wife too. It's like, because I can get over shit pretty quickly. My wife, on the other hand, is one of the women that you're alluding to, who
Oh, mine too.
takes a little bit longer, which is totally fine. Because I was probably being an asshole, which hey, it is what it is, and I'll own up to that when appropriate. But it's like, are we gonna are we gonna get over this, or like, are we gonna get a divorce over this?
Yeah, yeah,
No. So
exactly.
like, let's move the fuck on. Like, what are we, what are we doing? We can button this up in 20 minutes, or we can take 3 days. I'd rather choose 20 minutes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
let's enjoy dinner tonight. Like, what are we doing?
exactly.
And
Yeah,
some people, man, I don't. It turns into what I think the problem is when arguments happen with your significant other, and I'm sure you've been there. I know that we've been there. You want to win. You want to win the
absolutely.
argument.
Oh
That
yeah,
that is that
you're a competitive guy too, and I
it,
think it's
it, it is the worst fucking way to go about it, Sam.
yeah,
You know that because I'm
it's
not gonna
just
fucking lose. But if we want this to ride past, you gotta tuck your tail sometimes, man.
so true, man. It
Yeah.
is, and then it's you're gonna see this too as like I'm not trying to sound like the old guy seems that, but my daughter's 8 now, right? You got 8 months, I got 8 years old. Like last night, she doesn't talk back to her mom, But she'll be like, her mom, like, she keeps these cardboard things that one of her little Christmas games came in, right? Well, the cardboard things kind of make like little square cutouts, and she was using them as corrals for her fake horses, for her little horses. And her mom sees cardboard laying on the ground, picks it up, throws it in the trash. And Lainey's like, Mom, those are my corrals for my horses. It's like, no, that was cardboard from the packaging. You don't need to keep that shit around the house. I'm keeping a clean house. So she throws it. And I am just I'm sitting over here on the couch and I'm just like chuckling just like I am right now. I'm trying to be quiet. So I'm not like letting my daughter know that I'm laughing. She storms off to her room. I'm smiling. Peyton goes, what? Are you going to take my side? And I'm like, yes, I am taking your side, but it was just cardboard. Like it wasn't. So just wait till you get put in that position where you're like, it's hilarious, but you
Yeah.
kind of have to be like, okay, wife, yes, I'm siding with you, but yes, this is hilarious. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been put in that predicament. It makes life fun. That's when I enjoy it. Just gives me a chuckle.
Yeah. That's funny, man. No, we'll
Yeah.
get there. We'll get there. What are the you said 2025 was just like one of the best years going. What are some things in your life that you're struggling with, if anything?
Oh, I've been, that's wild you asked this, man.
So Sam, everybody is just waiting for me to dive into bow hunting with you because that's your main gig, right? And I'm just trying to draw this conversation out as long as possible and talk real life shit with you at the start.
Oh, that's great. I'd be fine not talking bow hunting. I like talking life because no one ever asked me about life. And um it's just wild you asked me this. I was listening to a podcast yesterday and they were talking about New Year's resolutions and all
Which
this.
one?
And it was on Go Hunt. The Go Hunt guys, I just saw they had New Year's resolution. That's what caught me. So I only listened to probably 45 minutes of it yesterday morning when I was working out, but they were talking about New Year's resolutions. And dude, it's had me thinking like, what, I know I'm not perfect. So it's like, what could I work on and be better at? I'm like struggling because I think of like, oh, all right, financial stuff. Dude, I have finances wise, I take my check, I give it to my wife. I say, as long as there's enough money for me to put in for Arizona, like I put in for my tags, that's all I care about. I'm not a money spender. So it's like, all right, financially, what could I do better there? Selfishly. So I'm going to work on, I feel like if I could do anything, I need to like let my wife know more how much how obsessed, how proud of her I am. Support her more. I feel like I do a decent job supporting, but I think I could do it better because her love language is like not gifts, but is like I don't
Acts
even
of
know.
kindness?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And affirmation, probably. That's probably
Yes.
most common in women. Yep.
Yes, and I need to be better at that. So if I look back at everything I did, how cool 2025 was, how cool 2024 was, whatever it may be, yeah, going forward in this year, it needs to be like to my wife. I need to show that more to her because she's so good to me, dude. My wife, my daughter and I are so spoiled, like always spoiled. Like I go on a hunting trip, she doesn't ask a question, none of that. Now, do I try to make it up on the back end? Absolutely. Like I am 100% in on being a husband and dad when I am home. Like, cause people ask that about my hunting. It's like, I'm like you, dude. That's the one thing about bow hunting. If you want to ask me questions, like I don't mess around. I can tell you I hunted elk for 3 days this year. That was Zach and I both killed bulls. I hunted my late season deer. I was home in 3 days. I don't dilly dally around too. I killed that deer, hiked out, and drove 7 hours home after I killed it. And I crawled into bed with her that night after the buck was dead. Like I don't waste any unneeded, unnecessary time stopping at bars and seeing people on my way back on road trips. Like I go hunt, get the objective done that I went there for, and I get home to my family. But to your question, I feel like I could be better. I don't know. She's a good wife. She'd probably be like, "You're fine," but I don't feel like I am. So in my own goals, that's what my 2026 has got to be. I just want to be. I need to take her on dates more. I'm not very good at that, dude. We did our date. August 12th was our anniversary,
Oh, we're
and
the
then August.
15th.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Yep.
That's awesome. And how many years have you been married? Oh, good question, huh?
Yeah, I always ask guys this too, and when they hesitate, I always say, "Don't fuck this up." And now you asked me, and I'm like, "Fuck." 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So August 12th. But anyways, I say we go to dinner August 12th, and then it's like hunting season. You know what happens after August 12th? It is freaking on like Donkey Kong. And then she looks at me, and it gets close like Christmas time. She's like, "Hey, we haven't had a night out," and it's
Yeah.
like I need to check myself, and that's what I need to do. But I need to date my wife. I need to date my wife and spoil her a little more. Not it doesn't she isn't a girl that like needs things. Like it could literally her and I could just go for a walk. We have walking past our house. If I got her a liquid death peach drink and I had one of
Those
those,
are
you drink.
bomb.
Dude,
Those
I
are
know I got one
bomb.
right here. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
Sponsor this podcast, Liquid Death. But
No doubt.
anyways, if I got that and we went on a 3 mile walk together with no kid, just the dog and me and her, like that would fill her cup a little bit. So yeah, 2026, I just need to date my wife and do better at that. That's
Yeah,
that's that's me.
and that costs you the price of a liquid death can. What, 225?
Yeah, exactly.
That's easy. It costs you nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I like that, dude, because and it's always like again, I coach a lot of guys and some guys will come to me and man, I'm just, like guys have needs, right? And you know what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah,
Guys have
absolutely. Yeah.
guys have needs.
Yeah.
It's like you dumb bastard. She's not going to give you none of what you want unless you're, feeding into her emotionally. If you're
Mhm.
taking her out on a date, telling her that you're proud of her, telling her
Mhm.
that she's a kick-ass mom, and then you show up after a 10-day hunting trip and you want to hop into bed and act like everything's all good and it's going to be a great night for you. Nah, dude. No, that ain't how this works. Sometimes it might, but like don't work like that over here, brother.
Yeah.
90% of the time it don't. Women need their emotional cup filled before you get any of that fun stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what I need to work on. She's so like I said, she takes care of me and Lainey like so well. And it's like I just need to give back a little better. So yeah,
Yeah, I
that would be
like
that'd
it.
be my 2026 goal. Other than that, it's like that's why I don't have these big like goals. I think I'm not a like I said, I'm not a big I don't really I'm like people ask me goals, like what's your goals? And I've
The
never been really goals
same
driven.
it's the same thing with me, man. I get the same question. What goals do you have? And I'm like, rinse and repeat what I always do. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
just
want
trying to do it at a higher level.
yeah, we always do like we got a little cool vacation plan this year, like an awesome getaway to the beach. Can't wait for that at the end of the month. And then it's like we'll do a our goal is like then it's like our horses in the mountains all summer. Like we're fishing and we're riding horses on the mountains. Like that's what my family, that's what our little team, or we call it the tripod. That's what our tripod loves. It's just that's it. And so it's like I just do that and it just everything kind of falls into place with that.
That's neat. So, who do you guide for?
I guide for Professional Hunting Services. It's an outfitter right here in Sheridan. I've known him since I was a kid, and I've only guided for him since 2022 was the first fall. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 4 falls now. I've that's other than that, I guided for the ranch I used to work on for the previous almost 21 years. So yeah,
Okay.
so Professional Hunting Services.
Primarily deer, you doing deer, elk, you doing the whole shebang.
We do it all. Deer, elk, antelope. The big thing that I like to guide is I love to guide mule deer. And so I guide a lot of mule deer, was in on some quite a few elk hunts this year, guided another elk hunt this year. And yeah, I will do anything. Whatever he asked me, but I used to guide 80 to 100 days a year. And when I quit the ranch, that's why I backed off. And I just want when I went with him, he was one of those guys. He told me, "Hey, if you ever do anything different, let me know." So the minute I quit, I went and visited with him, started guiding. I said, "I just want to do 2 weeks. I'll do 2 weeks, the mule deer season here, and call it good." And now it's kind of evolved into I did 4 or 5 weeks this year, which was fine, and I liked it, and I enjoyed it. It was fun hunting again, and it was cool country, and it's great country, great clients, great clientele we have, and then the country's phenomenal. We I get to chase some critters on some cool stuff and big critters too. So it's fun. It's fun guiding.
I've had a few guides on here just over the years of doing this, and I love asking about any crazy client stories. Do you have any that come to top of mind where you're like, bro, this guy was a fucking piece of work? I love those stories.
I mean, I can think of like what's one story that's like appropriate for me to always tell because you always think like what I always say is like guiding you're like a hairstylist, right? Or you're like a counselor because you get this guy. So guiding is five you got 5 days. So the first day it's like, hey, how are you? I'm so and so. This is so and so. And you're like, oh, how many kids you got? You talk about all the chummy shit. Like, this is my wife's this. We've been married this long. Oh, cool. Where are you from? Tell you about your house, their job. You talk about this. By day 2, they're telling you about their brother, how he's a shithead and like this, and some drinking stories. By day 3, their wife cheated on them 2
Oh god.
times, and it's like you're just like, "Whoa, man, we're in for it," right? So by day 5, you know everything about this guy. He's got tears in the truck. I mean, I've seen it all. Literally, I've seen it all. So when I think it kind of carved out, I didn't get married till I was 30. It kind of carved out like, all right, this is how I want my like I've heard all the bad shit. I've heard all the good stuff. Like this is how I need to kind of ride life. But I can remember just one guy. I can just remember stories, and I just remember this one guy that I guided. He had gotten married so I'd guided him one year. He was getting married. He was all excited. So then the next year he shows up at hunting camp and I'm guiding him and he's kind of quiet. And I'm just like, whatever, just kind of feeling him out. But he shouldn't be quiet because I've hunted with him a whole year. So we're skipping day 1 and 2. We should be
You
right
know
back.
him already,
Yeah,
right? Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, how is it? How's being married? And he looks at me and he's like, man, he goes, it was all good. And his wife was pregnant. She'd gotten pregnant. So it was happening fast. Like she had gotten pregnant. They got married right around hunting season. You know, he'd been married. All the things happened. Then she was expecting, but I don't see him in the way that the year worked, right? I didn't see him. So he'd gotten married, comes hunting, and then she knocks her up. So by the time he gets home from his hunt trip, he about finds out that she's pregnant. So around, let's say June or July, she has a baby. He's a white boy. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, bro,
And
no,
yeah,
dude,
so yeah,
no.
he tells me, he goes, I'm in the hospital and the baby comes out. It's a little black baby. And he's like, he's looking around like, what the hell? And his wife, she doesn't know what's going on. And come to find out there's a black stripper at the bachelorette party. So he went from being married to having a baby to being divorced in 9 months. That's probably one of like the best stories I've ever
Oh
heard. You
my
know,
god.
I have all the missing and guys couldn't hit anything and I've seen over and under 30-06s that I didn't even know they make. I've jammed cow elk in the back of Jeep Grand Cherokees. They were all leather plush and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll just load the elk up in here," and they
It'll
pulled
be
down the back
fine.
seats.
Throw a tarp down. It's good.
Yeah. So I can tell you all those, but that's like just off the top of my head as far as like stories go. That's one of the wildest stories that you're just kind of like a little bit of silence in the truck. But then I'm not good at being silent. So by day 4, I'm joking, right? I'm cracking jokes about this like the whole time. Like, oh man. So that was a wild one.
Oh, that's like one of them fucking like Instagram memes that you see out and about, man. It's like
Yeah.
family pictures, like 2 hillbillies and a black baby. It's like, what's
Yeah.
going on here, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
poor
Um,
bastard.
Yeah, that was just a funny one. But as far
Yeah.
as guiding, you know, I've guided all. Ah, man, I've been lucky. Like I said, I've guided some. I've learned a lot about people, is what I've learned at
What
in
have you
guiding.
found out?
I mean, I've had like this, you know, the CEOs of billion-dollar, like literally billion-dollar publicly traded companies in my truck, and I've had them that will help you. They'll pull out a knife and they want to help you skin. They'll open every gate. They'll offer to wash your truck. You come out from, say, lunch or something, and they've washed your windows and are ready to go back out. 2, I've had the big dogs of the companies just on the same note pull up to a gate, you know, a barbed wire gate on a
I
private
know
ranch up in
exactly
Whistler.
what you mean. If you're riding shoddy, get the fuck out and get the gate.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
they won't even get out. They won't even look at me. And I was probably 20. I remember being like 22 years old, and I guided a CEO of a big, big, big oil company, and he wouldn't even talk to me. He got up, appointed to me. This is going to be your guide, and I met him, shake his hand, and I asked him what kind of drinks and stuff he wants for the cooler. You know, it's that kind of operation, 5-day hunt, mule deer, elk hunt, and we go out looking for mule deer that first evening, and we pull up to a gate, and he doesn't even look at me. He just stares forward. I get out, I open the gate. I'm like, maybe he doesn't know how to run a gate. So he sees me do this one. By the time I get to the next one, he'll have it figured out. He doesn't even open the gate. Long story short, he gets to where he hits a deer, he's shooting a 308, which I absolutely hate a 308. I don't talk guns. I don't talk calibers. If you got a good shooting gun, that's fine. He was shooting a 308, hits this buck deer in his shoulder, breaks his shoulder. There's like 4 inches of snow. And he just sat down on the hill and I started bloodshelling it. And he never even followed it up, never followed with me. I got back there the next morning to look for it, had another guide with me and his hunters. This son of a bitch wouldn't even get out of the side by side to come help us blood trail or look or anything. And so I've seen guys that represent a company. He should be a leader. He leads a lot of people. and I saw him be an absolute failure as far as I wouldn't let that guy fucking pick up dog shit in my yard. I mean, that he couldn't even lead someone to do that as far as what I saw. But that was only one bad apple. All the other guys, I got to some really classy individuals. I worked for some amazing guys, and I got to meet world class soldiers, like I said, that were I still are their lifelong friends, guys that I keep in touch with, guys we've seen on the guys that you've seen on the news. Like I've been fortunate enough to hunt with a lot of those guys and their families, and I've learned a lot. It's definitely there's you see you one of the things my boss used to tell me. So they were an oil company that the ranch I worked for, right? And he said I'll never forget this. I was a young guy. I was 19 years old, 18 years old. I started guiding for him. 20, I spent a lot of time guiding actually the owners of the ranch a lot too. And one of them told me that, the best way to see the real side of someone, what they would do as a company, they'd always take them on a fishing trip or take them on a hunting trip because you'll see the best side of it. Once you get the drinking at the lodges at nighttime, the way they interact with the guides and all the clients, the cleaning ladies, the cooking staff. He said that's how you see a person's their full potential or see what they're about. And I was like, I get it. Like I get it. I saw it. I was that guy. I mean, I got looked at as a peasant and I was this guy's guide. I was supposed to take care of him for a week, and so you learn a lot about a person and but on the mostly every experience I had was good. There was one guy I told him I was glassing and the ranch that I used to work for, they could drink. I could have a cooler full of beer. So some of the guys was this guy wasn't hunting. I was guiding a deer hunter and I had 2 antelope guys in the back seat. And so we were really focused. I can go kill an antelope and give me 45 minutes. I'll get an antelope dead, right? We were really trying to get a nice trophy mule deer. So I was spending a lot of time glassing. This one guy sat in the back seat and just kept chirping. He's got a Coors Light in him. He's got 2 Coors Lights in him. He's like, you can't see shit through that. Just kind of funny at first. But by like hour 3, when he's sitting behind me and he keeps rocking the truck, and I got it on a window mount. Yeah, really hard hunting. This isn't no backpack, badass, cool story on. So this is truck hunting on a nice ranch. But I'm glassing for big mule deer, and he's rocking. He's running his mouth, and finally I just put the truck in park, kick the key. I open the door. I said, "Get out! Like I'm gonna beat your ass." And I got one of the head. I'm probably 22 at the time, 23, and I think I'm toughest guy in the world. And I got the big boss is sitting right next to him, like a foreman. I should say a foreman is sitting, and he goes, I don't remember what the guy's name was. Anyways, he goes, I wouldn't get out, and I said, no, he can get out. I said, let this son of a bitch get out. I said, I'm gonna whoop his ass like right here. I said, get out. And he just looked at me, and I was like, so that's probably the only like most fired up I got ever gotten. But I was sick of his shit. I'd been listening to him for 4 hours, like. Anyways, got back to the lodge that night. He got so drunk, he ended up taking his pants off in the lodge, and then he got sent home. And he never got come back. So it was like that guy found his own way to the door. I didn't have to beat his ass. I wish I would have just to final like top the story. Like, yeah, I punched him right in the nose and left him sit in the sagebrush out here, but I didn't. But that's like the most bad apple I ever had, and then the guy that was just arrogance. But no, man, it was a lot of good people. A lot of good people. Like you see the good side of them when you're working your ass off for them out in the hills, and they respect that, and you do a good job for people, and a lot of return clients, right? Like guys always, that was probably the biggest compliment is year after year, those guys want to keep coming back, right? Literally, I get Christmas cards from them, and they want me to meet their families. Or the place we're going in Florida that I'm taking my wife to and daughter to next week is one of my hunters.
Oh,
It's
no
his
shit.
beach. It's his beach house in Tampa, and I kept saying, yeah, we'll go. He's like, you need to come stay at my beach house. So this year, when he got here, he walked right past me into my living room to my wife and said, you are coming to Florida and you're going to stay in our beach house. I don't give a shit what he says. And so, like, I didn't have a choice in the matter. So, like, yeah, have I met some good people? Absolutely outstanding people. We're going to stay in his house in 3 weeks in Florida. So
That's awesome.
that's
Yeah.
where guiding and hunting and has got me.
Yeah, that's
It's
neat.
it's it's changed my life.
I
It's
like
made my life. I don't know any different.
yeah. I like I like how you can really see the true colors of somebody like when they're talking to the staff and they're talking to people, especially when you're in especially when you're in a position of power like that, when you're dealing with people that can't give you anything.
Hmm.
They don't have anything to offer you,
Hmm.
right? The way that they treat those folks, that tells a lot about their character, right? Like there's this saying, you can tell a lot about a man based on how he treats the waiter or the fast food lady that hands the bag through the door. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or the
yeah,
window, I should
absolutely.
say. But it's true, man. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something I'm pretty much over it now, but LEO for what, 5 years, I think? Yeah, 5 years. And it was tough to see the light in people, man. Because every day you're dealing with people on their worst day. So you're like, man, people suck. People just suck. Like, gosh, everybody just is so down and negative. And it's like, well, I mean, they're not going to call you because they're having a good day, you know?
Yeah.
So when I got out, it took me a good year or two to really start to see the good in people again because I was so used to just the bad,
Yeah.
you know? But I think that was a good thing for me being, in my mid 20s was to see that really bad part of folks because now I can appreciate, especially in this stage of my life, the really good people too.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
if I would have just always dealt with good people, you could probably take that for granted.
Mhm.
So now when I meet somebody genuine or somebody that, has a good heart, I really want to get close to that individual because I know a lot of folks and have dealt with a lot of folks that maybe don't have great hearts, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense, totally. I get that. I get that. I can't imagine being in the position you were. 'Cause, yeah, you think about all this stuff you hear about cops, and I don't have any background in any of that. I sit here and I watch, and cops got it tough, man. Like, every day is someone that's an asshole to them, or it's their yeah, it's their worst day, and I can't imagine having to deal with that. It would wear on a guy, so I get it.
Yeah.
Get what you're saying.
I was talking to my buddy Pete, who works in the same building that I work at, and he owns a company that trains law enforcement officers. So he does a bunch of training courses all throughout the country. He used to be a cop. He was in the military. He's very connected in the DC realm of things. So he knows a lot of people that know a lot of classified information and shit. And I haven't seen him in a few weeks with the holidays, and he was here yesterday and today, and I was like, dude, what's going on in the world? Like I can't even keep track of it. Like the stuff with the Somalian daycares and then the Venezuela stuff. I can't, it's too overwhelming for me to like
Yeah.
deep dive into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on, man? Like he's like, just sit at your desk and just focus on what you're doing. Don't even get involved in it, Tyler. Like don't go down the rabbit hole. Just you're doing great. Focus on what you need to focus on because the world is a crazy, crazy place. Every day something's happening, man, and it's just you did it right. You got a couple acres and you got a nice little barn dough over there. Like, just stick to that, man.
Yeah, well, thanks, but I'm in the same position as you. Is like as far as that kind of stuff is like the worldwide stuff. I used to be a big news guy. Every day when I
Me
get up,
too, dude.
I was big on news. Let's get some reading in. Like I thought I needed to kind of get in what I needed to get in as far as like I need to know some of this. I need some current events in my mind, right? And I have gotten so far removed from that. So if I see anything now, yeah, it's the scum stuff that we see on Instagram. So I don't know who's
Hmm.
pushing it. This exactly.
What's true, what's not.
Yeah, it's all this
Yeah.
daycare bullshit right now, and then Venezuela and all the Somalians, and
Yeah.
I have my assumptions because I think I look into a little bit of enough to know that like yeah, it's just a wild place. Like we got to focus on our families and doing our thing. You're exactly right, and just hoping that the cards fall into our favor for what we need it to.
Yeah. That's why I really like the way that you do social media. And if I could do it the way that you do it, I'd be happy. I mean, I'm happy now. I have to do social media because it's a part of my business, but you get on, you share when you want, you document some of your hunts. Hey, look at this bull that I killed, and then you're out of there. Like I forgot that I had your phone number because I DM'd you today and you didn't even read it. Like, because you're not on it, dude.
And I'm
Which
bad.
which is which is great though. Like that's the way to do it.
Well,
I really believe just post something if you got something that you want to share with the world, and then get the fuck out of there.
well, thanks. That's like I think Instagram for me, it's like I always talk about Instagram reminds me of like in the old days when you'd go into like a sporting goods store,
Yeah,
they'd
throw
have
your
the
throw your
cork
thing on the
board.
cork board. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. So it's like the cork board, and so it's like I've always grown up. My dad being a guide and outfitter, he was like pictures, 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 pictures. We always had cool pictures, and not all kill photos like just cool photos of everything, like our horses loaded up with pack strings or just an eagle sitting in a tree. Or I mean, everything. My dad has, I got thousands. He was even in it back in the 60s. And my dad was an older dad for my age. He was 40 when I was born. So he had slides, so I have boxes of slides. And so my dad was into photography. He wasn't a photographer, but he took tons of pictures. And so I grew up like that. So I think Instagram's kind of been a neat way to be like, I still love to take pictures. And so like, yeah, I'll put up a picture of some elk hunting picture and it's February, but it's not like I'm trying to yeah, it's like I'll be scrolling through my phone. That's one thing my daughter does get a look at our phones for is pictures. If she wants to look at pictures, it's sad that we don't have photo albums anymore.
I know.
'Cause we grew up, you probably did too, grew up with photo albums, 35
Yep.
millimeter pictures and just plastic film. Like,
Yep.
that's what people did. If you wanted to go to a family event, you'd be like, "Oh, let me see, like, there's the photo album right there." You get the photo album out and look, and you giggle at all the pictures of so and so in there in their diaper, or look at all these hunting photos, or, "Oh, I remember this camping trip," and that's where phones is now. Like, when my daughter wants to look at pictures, I let her, because I like to go through them with her and be like, "Here's you when you were doing this. Here's you with your grandpa. And here's this." And so she does get a look at my phone for pictures. And that's kind of what Instagram has for me. It's kind of just this, like, I don't know, I like to share some of the cool events that happened to me and the stuff that I've got to see, because I feel very lucky. I'm not a big guy to use the word blessed, but I'm a very lucky guy that places I grew up and the things that I've got to see and document, and the pictures that I've got to take, and the man, I look at it. I've got to know this now, because I got a few followers and guys have messaged me, and then, like, you'll ask me questions. It's like, man, I'm living in a world that a lot of grown men would love to live in, and this life that I've been very fortunate to live. And so I might as well share it, because I got to share it, because it's, for me, it's like, this is a neat thing for me to share. This is a cool picture for me
Yeah.
to show you. And I don't use it to show off. I don't use it for anything. It's just, this is my life and this is who I am, and I feel very lucky that I'm here, and I don't want to take any of it for granted. So that's why I post what I do post.
Do you have any sponsorships in the hunting space?
No dollar amount sponsorships. Gear wise, do guys give me some gear? Yes. Do I've have been given a few things? Yeah, but do I get paid by anybody at actual dollar amount? No. There's no, but I don't wanna really get paid. I mean, I've had a lot of companies talk to me, not a lot. I've had a few companies talk to me about being paid to do this and paid to do that, and there's nothing that's really like, nothing that's really, I don't wanna do that really. I kind of like, I make a good living pounding nails and doing my life doing that. I help one company in specifics. I work with Stone Glacier. I go to the shows in the wintertime with them. I go to a few shows, but I work for them when I'm at the shows, and not just there to be a pretty face, right? Like, it's there to do something, and I'll get a paycheck from that. Other than that, and then I just like to hunt. So, but yes, gear wise, I've given gear, absolutely. But as far as like a straight up paycheck, contractual paycheck, no.
I was about 90% sure you were going to say that. So that was a leading question on my behalf. I I admire you regarding that, because with your track record, you could. And you could get paid a lot of money probably from companies to go out and hunt. You're on social media like I am. There's a lot of young hunters that maybe necessarily don't hunt for the reasons that maybe you and I do, which is not a
Oh.
paycheck, and it's because we love it, and it's a way to free up space in our mind and just go disconnect and connect with the animal and nature and just have that time of reflection. What kind of advice do you have for somebody who may be seeking sponsorships when in reality maybe that's not the way to go?
I was gonna look like a young guy, because I've had people ask me, like, how do you get in the hunting industry?
Right.
Air quotes, air quotes.
Right.
It's like, I didn't grow up trying to be in the industry. I grew up hunting. When I say I bow hunted, I grew up hunting absolutely everything with my bow, because I love to hunt absolutely everything with my bow. If there was a season open and I could get a tag for it, I was chasing it. I mean, that, like, right now, if I look back when I was 16 years old, I was limiting out on rabbits every Saturday and Sunday. I was going and hunting rabbits. I was hunting ducks. I was hunting pheasants with my bow. And did I have 35 millimeter camera pictures that I was taking of it? Absolutely. Did I take pictures of all those adventures? Yes. Did I go through arrows like it was my job? Yeah, I went through when I was still shooting. Those are still aluminum arrows back in those days. I mean, I was flinging aluminum, like, kids don't even know what aluminum arrows are anymore. I was flinging aluminum arrows back then. But don't try to be don't try to get sponsors. Just do your thing and go enjoy the outdoors and love it and document it. Document it, but document it like, not a cheesy ass way. Just document it doing your thing. If you want to
Yeah.
video your hunts, absolutely video your hunts. I've been videoing my hunts. Dude, if I showed you, I went for, like, I think even before mini DV, there was high eight. It was high eight or mini DV. Then it went to SD cards. I had tapes and tapes and tapes of, I videoed everything. I videoed everything we shot at. Like, that's what we did. Like, that's what me and my buddies did. And I always had a camera with me, and it just, yeah, did it finally start to catch up with me? You know what one thing that I did as a kid? There was probably different. I don't know what you would do now, and I don't know. I didn't have sponsors, but all the gear that I had, like I had a Badlands backpack I got for Christmas, and I could show you a book sitting right here. I would write a thank you letter to Badlands Backpacks. I'd write a thank you letter for making such a good backpack. I'd take whatever kill photo I had that year. So I'm 15 years old, a big whitetail buck I killed in my Badlands backpack. I sent the kill photo and a handwritten thank you letter to Badlands. Don't even know who I was shipping it to. I did that to Nikon. Was the first ranger finder I had was Nikon. I didn't have one for like 3 or 4 years. I bow hunted without them. We didn't have them. I had a Nikon rangefinder. I would send thank you letters to these companies. And I would just literally label Matthews Archery. PSE was my first. I had a PSE Nova. I sent a thank you letter to PSE with a picture of a mule deer buck I killed in the high country by myself when I was 15. And I don't know, dude. You know what's crazy about that? So that's 2000 or 99. In 2019, Badlands comes out with this 20th annual edition book, and all of a sudden in the cover photo, or in this Badlands comes out with this book. A buddy of my dad's from Utah gets hold and goes, "Hey, isn't this your son in here?" It doesn't say anybody's name on it. There was a picture of me with my backpack that I'd sent them when I was 15 years old because of that thank you letter to Badlands. And I was in their hard copy anyways. I was looking for it. But so yeah, I don't know. Like there was stuff that I did, but I wasn't. It was just like write a thank you letter to that company and whatever. And 20 years later, that picture resurfaced in a hardbound book that they did for their 20th anniversary. Like wild stuff like that. And then I just took good photos, but I wasn't trying to be anything. I just wanted to hunt. I read
Yeah.
I can say this sounds, I've said it before on podcast. Cam Haines was my idol when I was 14, 15-year-old because he was editing Eastman's Bow Hunting Journal. I'd been reading Eastman's since I was a kid. It used to just be Eastman's Hunting Journal. It had a few bow hunting articles in it. Then they came out with Eastman's Hunting Journal Bow Hunting Edition. So then it was like, holy cow, there's a peer magazine for bow hunting. So then it was like, there's this guy named Cam Haines and he's the editor. So you write a story in, Cam Haines edits it. He sends you a little thing. You like, I got a little picture in Eastman's Hunting Journal with this mule deer. Dude, Cam Haines back in September took a picture of that because he still had the copy, tagged me in it. It was like, hey man, you're still bow hunting. It's like something like that. It's cool to see you're still a killer or whatever it may be. Like that, all that stuff is kind of like just came around. And that's back to my just be a good person and just be
Yeah.
you, and shit will just work out. So I don't know if that's really any advice I gave anyone other than just like live life and I don't think real sponsors or real companies want to back some fake person if you're trying to fake it that you're hunting. Just go hunt and post your pictures, show your love and show your passion. Don't talk about how far you can shoot. If you can shoot 900 yards with your rifle, good job. Like if you can shoot that far, good on you. If you can shoot 100 yards, 110-yard kill shot with your bow, don't put the yardage. Just go hunt, do your thing. No one gives a shit how far you shot it. Make it clean, ethical as you can. Do your best. Enjoy it, and just go about it. And if someone wants to pick you up, they'll pick you up and do your thing. But I don't have that's to be my only advice because I didn't go out seeking this, man. Like I just love to hunt, and I think that showed through in my photos. That my wife set up my Instagram in Seattle airport in 2016. We were coming from a Seahawks game before we had kids, before I had anything. I had buddies tell me you should get Instagram. You have way too many good photos to not be sharing this stuff. So Peyton set up my Instagram. That's why it's a dumb handle, S Davis 2506. That was a caliber that my dad always shot rifles. So I used that 4-digit number. I don't even shoot a gun. That's the only gun that I ever had was a 25-06. That's why that number is in my handle. And she set up my Instagram. She posted, if you look at the day, like the first 8 pictures of some were all posted at once. A bunch of kill photos from like that year or year prior. That's how my Instagram started. And then it was just like, okay, I can post a hunting picture. And it just kind of gravitated towards one company like this. But I also stayed true to everything. I've shot Grim Reaper broadheads since 2009. I shot Muzzies were my first broadheads I shot in the early 2000s, like 99, 2000, 2001. And then I went to G5 is when they came out with the Montec, and I shot the Striker. But then I shot a speedboat. I didn't know how to tune a bow. I was shooting like a 340 grain arrow. Back in the days, you didn't weigh your arrows. You didn't do any of that shit. You just bought gold tips were stamped 55.75, meaning poundage, 75.95. They went by poundage. You didn't know the spine. Like I didn't. I was just a punk ass kid. So I bought 55 75s. I had a Matthews Monster that was flinging them at 330 feet per second. Looking back, they were so under spined. That's why they couldn't fling my fixed blade. So I watched a YouTube video, early YouTube video, and it was Tim Wells, the Slock Master, shooting a broadhead. And I remember watching him shooting a running red stag, and he punched an arrow right through it with an Oneida Eagle. And I was like, well, God, that broadhead worked great. It was a Grim Reaper broadhead. So I bought some Grim Reaper broadheads. That's how I found them. 2009, I started shooting Grim Reaper broadheads. I've stuck with that company. They're great guys. Did they end up finding me years later after posting and stuff? Absolutely, they did. And yeah, I've gotten some broadheads from those guys, and it's a cool relationship. No money. I've shot their broadheads and great guys, and like that's what I'm getting at. I'm just looking at my bow shop right here. That's how the relationships have worked. I can tell you my relationship with gold tip arrows. I shot gold tip arrows from 1999 until 2023. And the only reason I switched to victory arrows is because the guy that was at gold tip had got let go, and he called me and said, "Hey, I'm moving to victory archery." I said, "Can you set me up with an arrow, something that I used to shoot?" He said, "Yep." And I said, "I'll do it." Because of the relationship that I had with that guy, I was true to him. He was a great guy that I'd worked with for 8 years. He's become a friend, and I'm not just going to jump ships on that. There was no money transaction there at all. It's literally just a good guy that's taking care of me. Wanted to switch me over because he'd gotten moved, and I said, "Absolutely, I'll go wherever you go, buddy. Like you've been good to me." So that's why I do what I do. I mean, black gold sights. I've shot black gold sights, and every single bow, every single picture you've ever seen has been a black gold sight since 1999. So I don't need to go try the new dialed sight. I don't need to go try. There's cool, fancy spot hogs. I love Dan Evans. Looks really great. That option archery sight he makes, all that. But mine works. I'm not a tinkerer. I want a tool on my bow because I like to kill shit. I love to hunt, and I want my equipment to work efficiently, and I want it to work every time. And I just want to go hunt, and I just want to kill. And you won't catch me tinkering. My arrows have always weighed 465 grains since 2011. My arrows have weighed 465 grains. It was a 250 spine gold tip. It's a 245 spine victory now. I cut it to the same length, so it goes 265. No fancy inserts. I run this freaking stocks inserts that come with them, the aluminum inserts. I cut them on my arrow saw. I don't run a squaring tool. I glue the son of a bitches and I put 100 grain tip on it. And I go shoot my bow. I don't do anything crazy. Like there's no secret magic potions to anything. Just go out and hunt. No archer besides Levi Morgan or maybe some like Bodie Turner. Some of those guys are good enough to outshoot the straightness of an arrow. Like you can't stand back at 60 yards and make that arrow shoot the .001 straightness and all that stuff. I mean, yes, you want all the things going into your factor. Don't build it like I build my arrows the same way every time. They might be within a grain or 2 grains of each other. I don't know. But that's how I roll with life, and that's how I roll with sponsors, and that's how I roll with all that stuff. Just be just need to roll in life with everything. It's not just hunting. Like I take that approach with absolutely everything in life. I try to just be good and be good to whoever supported you. You support them and just go about it, man. That's about as good as I can. And Stone Glacier has been awesome to me. The one guy that used to be head of marketing at Stone Glacier, he was a Sheridan guy. He reached out to me 8 years ago. I just as buddies, and Stone Glacier was just making backpacks, and was like, "Hey, would you want to try running one of these backpacks?" I said, "Heck yeah, let's do it." And that metamorphosized into me running packs, and then they made some pants, and I tried their pants, and I ran a prototype of this, or I ran a prototype of that, and used this, and I just kind of evolved with Stone Glacier. I've just been with them for that long. I haven't been with them since the start when Kurt was making the very first packs, but about 4 years into it, I was. And so that's been my marriage with Stone Glacier. And the guys have been great to me, and I work with them.
They're all genuine relationships.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So I think to kind of sum up your point is don't ask for really anything. And the biggest thing is the one-on-one connection with these folks. And what also happens is that I don't care how cool your pictures look or your reels look, if you can't kill shit on a consistent basis, these companies don't give a fuck about you. Like you have to kill stuff, dude. And I don't follow many folks, but like you're up there in terms of notching tags. It's very impressive, dude. But again, you've been doing this shit forever, and it
Yeah.
shows. Like there's, dude, like probably a handful of killers, and most of them probably aren't even on social media.
Oh yeah,
You know what
the
I
guys
mean?
I
Like
the guys I
those
look
are the
up
real
to,
ones.
yeah, the guys I really look up to, they aren't even on social media. Like if you were to ask me like who are some of the top bow hunters I look up to, it isn't anybody you guys see on Instagram.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
one or two of them have Instagram, but they hardly ever post. Like you'd have to
Yeah.
search for them.
Yeah. Yeah. The two best, well, you're in this category too, but the two best killers that I know are Brian Barney. That dude is as consistent as all
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah,
out.
yeah. Yeah, Brian,
And
Brian's a stud. Yes,
yeah,
he's in that
he's
category.
a freak. And then my boy Dylan Ness, who lives right down the road
Yes,
from me. And he
yes.
have you ever talked to Dylan?
All through Instagram. Yeah, I
Dude,
know
you
it's all
guys
through
are
Instagram.
you motherfuckers are one and the same. You guys are the exact same. You guys just are lights out, man. And
Yeah,
like Brian's really not even on IG, and Dylan just fucking posts when he's in the sauna board sometimes. Like the dude, the dude's an absolute stud. And those are the
yeah,
guys that I admire. And like Dylan, he's got no sponsorships. He doesn't give a fuck about that. He's just like you. He's like, you want to know why I do this? And I'm like, why? And he pulls out his photo album from behind the couch when we're doing a pod. He's like, this is why.
yeah, dude.
He's like, if I had it my way, I'd just go to Cabela's and post it on the corkboard.
Yeah,
I'm like, I like your
yeah,
style, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. Those guys hunt though because they love it, just like you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'll hunt. I always say Instagram's gonna disappear one day, and I don't give a
100%.
shit. Like,
100%.
I will hunt, and I will teach my daughter. I will teach my daughter the way of the outdoors and the ethics of the outdoors, like forever. Like that's my thing, and
Yeah.
yeah, like that's why like my horses are set up to hunt. Like I raise my horses. Yeah, we rope on them and rodeo on them, but my horses they're hunting horses. Like they're mountain horses. Like everything that we do revolves around. I tell you, we go fishing on the mountains in the summertime. We're packing horses. I got pack saddles on all horses that we aren't riding, getting ready for hunting season. Dad's usually bombing the family off in some wild ass spot because I think that there may be bears there to look at, elk there to look at, moose sheds to find, whatever it may be. That's our life. And I don't give a shit if any of it was posted. It's just neat to be able to share those moments because it is an avenue that's there.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, it's just yeah, any young guy or gal that's getting into it and wants to be, it's just like, man, you just gotta love what you're
Yeah.
doing for that reason first. And I think everything else would and send those pictures in those companies, tag those companies, whatever it may be. I don't know how you go about it.
I
I'm
don't
not a
either.
great yeah, I'm not a good Instagrammer. Like I don't have a pile of followers. Like it's just something that's just kind of metamorphosized over time. And that's the thing is too, I think people want like now. They want now, now, now. This was my 26th bow season, like 26 years of bow hunting to get everything you can see, right? Like that's 26 years of loving it so much that's I eat, sleep it, and breathe it. Like I tell you, we watch YouTube hunting videos. We watch YouTube hunting videos. I can tell you where guys are hunting. I can tell you if it's Wyoming. I damn near can tell you by watching a video within like 2 minutes. My wife will be like, Jesus, you really figured out where they are? I'm like, absolutely, I can figure out where you are. Show me the mountains, show me the terrain, show me the vegetation. Don't show me any peaks. Give me two creek crossings and some vegetation. And I can tell you if it's our mountains. I can tell you within 150 miles of my spot. But it's like, I think it's weird too. And if you listen to my 8-year-old daughter watch a YouTube video and she'll tell you about a hit or tell you how it's going to bleed, how much time she would give it. I mean, like, that's just what we talk about. And it sounds weird and I sound like a loser, but that's our life. And that's just how we live. And that's casual conversation over dinner is literally that. Or she opens up an Eastman's magazine last night because the Bowen Angel just came out. She's looking through it and she goes, Dad, you haven't been in anything in a while. Like she likes to talk shit to me. And she's like, and Peyton, my wife's cooking dinner, and she's literally laughing and she's like laughing out loud. And Lainey's dead serious. She goes, Dad, you haven't been in any of these in a while. Like you're getting kind of lame. And I'm just like, but she's looking at Eastman's. And then she's like, well, do you know this person? It's like, it's really neat to look in this community is really small. The hunting community is really small when you've been to Salt Lake, the expo, and it's like, man, you see everybody there. You're gonna see all those people at Sheep Show, you're gonna see all those people at SCI, intermixed, a few here or there, but it's really that's a smaller. But then even outside of that, like when I open up an Eastman's, there's a like in the episode in the issue right now, there's an Arizona buck killed by one of the killers I was just talking about. He's quiet on SG or on Instagram, but he is one of the most badass killers. He will write the old killers that I know will write and still write for like Bowhunter magazine. They write they put in some Eastman's articles. They do stuff like that. They still kind of have the old school mindset of that's how you publish what you want. And those are some of the guys to look up to. But they're in this issue of Eastman's comes out right now, and Lainey right away, she's like, oh Dad, like that's Jason right there. And she should recognize as the guys, And so it's it's our life, man, and, like, I've been very lucky to grow up where I did and have 6 to 10 tags in my pocket here with does and everything, cow elk tags. I was very lucky to grow up here, and I chased all of those animals. So when you talk about, like, punching tags, like, I was that kid that really I can tell you the white-tailed doe season used to go to December 17th. We didn't have a cow elk season that ran until December 31st. So late season in December, I was still crawling around on the creek bottoms. I would wait till the ice would freeze because you could slide on the ice, and you could be so quiet working the willows to shoot a white-tailed doe when it was 10 below 0 and everybody else was done hunting. I was still out chasing white-tailed does. Stick them, had a liver shot, and have to leave them overnight. And you get back, you got the stiff as a board doe whitetail laying there, and you're trying to skin the, you try to skin the rear hocks on a deer. It's such a bitch when
Mhm,
it's frozen. But
mhm.
I can tell you about like all those nights doing that and all those like just all those adventures. Like that's what I was doing as a kid and getting as many tags as I could. And I'm still 41 years old and I still get a cow elk tag. My favorite hunt's late season cow elk. I go get permission from a few ranchers. I put in my work in the spring and summertime, fencing, branding, working cows for them, moving horses for them, do all those things so that maybe I can have an opportunity to chase a cow elk on their place come December when all their hunters are done and everybody's done. I asked to go shoot a cow elk, but I put in my work. Like I don't just go door knocking. Like I'm always, I got to earn it from them, right? And yeah, I do cow elk. I chase whitetail with my daughter. Like I saved that tag. I would love to go kill a giant whitetail one time, but man, I killed the little tiny whitetail this year. My daughter, we shot it at 9 feet, Tyler. And I waited till the weather was so shitty and no one else was out hunting. It was a 40-mile-an-hour wind came in and a storm was blowing in. I went and got her from school early. I left work. I said, we got to play this storm because we're hunting some. The place I had permission was like really open, rolling hills, perfect rifle country, but we were going to bow hunt one. And it was like just a few brushy draws, big yellow rolling prairie dog hills. The wind was literally blowing 45 to 50 mile an hour, and it started snowing flakes this big, so much that tumbleweeds were flying over us. But those whitetail, they were going to be stuck in those little brush pockets, right? And we just started working up in those brush pockets. The deer were rutting, and we had a buck come 9 feet from us. And I said, closest bow shot I've ever had on the ground, spot and stock. And my daughter was right side by side with me. She watched that arrow completely blow through that deer. He went 20 yards, piled up. I was able to go get the pickup, drive within 60 yards of it. I threw her in the truck because it started snowing so bad. I gutted it real quick and chucked it in the truck, and we were out of there. We brought her home. We got Grandpa's favorite knife, and she skinned the whole sucker. And then I was like, well, Dad wouldn't just let him skin this. I was like, do you want to see how we do it in the mountains? Because she's always asking, like, because when she sees, she hasn't got to go any elk hunts yet. She's a little small for that. But she always sees when elk gets home, it comes in game bags, and they're off
Mhm.
horse and panniers. And I was like, all right, you want to quarter this deer? So then I would hold the leg and I show her to cut. We quartered and we cut the back straps out after we'd skinned it. So we did every single process. Everybody does that stuff. But yeah, man, like we do the thing because we love the thing. It's not to put on a show. I got it all documented. I have videos of all that of her skinning and using Grandpa's knife, and we got the freaking speaker out there just ripping some Morgan Wallen. She loves Morgan Wallen, and we're skinning deer in the garage, right? Like that's what it's about.
That's it, dude. That's it.
Yeah,
You're gonna be 80 years old, and that's where you're gonna go back to.
yeah,
Those moments right there, dude.
yeah,
That's cool. You said we do the thing because we love the thing.
absolutely.
Yeah, I like that, man. You're one of the real ones, Sam. This has been a blast, brother.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. I was looking forward to this one because I honestly I didn't. I was with my cousin Coy today, and I was like, I got a podcast with Tyler. I was like, we got to get stuff cleaned up early so I can get out of here. And I was like, he goes, "You gonna talk hunting?" And I was like, "I hope we don't talk hunting." I was
We
like, "I want to
barely
go."
did. We
I
barely
love it.
did. We
I
barely
love it.
did. Yeah, dude, I just like I told you at the beginning, I just love positive people. You're one of those people. I'm glad that we got to link on the phone not long ago and kind of keep this rolling a little bit. Are you going to be in Salt Lake? Did I ask you that?
Yeah, I don't think that I'm gonna be at Salt Lake, so I don't know for sure yet. I'm headed to Sheep Show next week. I'll be at Sheep Show with the guys, and then I'll
Cool.
kind of see how it plays out after that. I'd like to go to Salt Lake. That's one of my fun. That's a kind of a fun one to go say hello to everybody and chum it up. But I don't think I'm going.
Okay.
So.
Well, you let me know if plans change. We'll be there. And if you want to come get a workout in with the boys, you're more than welcome to come.
All right. Well, thank you for that. If I get up to your country, I'll give you a shot if I head up north. If my wife
Dude,
wants to
I
do one
could
of
I
those.
could be there in 2 hours. We just
Oh, I
decided to
know.
do it this way, right?
I
You
know.
said Sheridan?
Yeah, Sheridan.
Yeah, hop, skip, and a jump, dude.
It
So
is.
no,
It
we'll
is.
link up. Maybe I'll come down someday and shoot some bows and Mess around for a little bit. I want
Bring
any
your
guy.
wife and your kid. That's what you should do, and
Yeah, I
we could
will.
play in the backyard. We could shoot some bows and barbecue grill up some burgers is what we
There
could
we
do,
go.
so,
Yeah, no, let's make that happen here in Q1. That'd be fun, dude. I'm all for
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, cool.
You
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Nah, dude, pleasure was all mine. Where can people find you on IG?
I got that my handle Instagram, it's sdavis2506.
Cool.
And yeah.
I'll leave that in the
Yeah.
description. Stay on for a minute. I'm gonna upload your file and I'll get you out of here, brother.
All right.